You're super busy, you're a little bit lazy, but you still want to get more things done. I was in the same exact spot, but I figured out how to make it work. So in this video, I'm sharing practical, low-effort tips that completely transform the way I manage my time, stay organized, and get things done. Plus, the one AI tool that kept me on track when I was at my absolute busiest and laziest. Let's start with time management, because if you don't control your time, nothing else really matters. The main problem with time management is most tools demand the very thing they're supposed to save you more of: time. Notion dashboards, Google calendars, digital planners. Sure, they're great until you're spending hours managing them instead of working. That's exactly how burnout begins. So instead, I'm giving you some time management tips designed for real life. Low effort solutions to the problems that we actually deal with. Alright, problem number 1. You don't know where to start, so you just don't. You got a list of things to do, your boss is on your back, but you have no direction. I've been there before. It is completely overwhelming. Here's the simplest fix that actually works. And yes, it may seem a little bit obvious, but later in this video, I'm diving into some deep strategies that most people never even think of. All you have to do is pick one thing to be your starter. That's it. Something like go to the library. It's not about the task, it's about the trigger. It tells my brain it's time to work, so the rest follows naturally. Okay, problem number 2. You feel like you waste time if you don't have a detailed schedule. So you try to map out every hour, but one thing runs late, you wake up feeling a little bit tired, and now everything is off track. I used to beat myself up for not following my detailed plan, but that's when I realized the plan was actually the problem. So now I keep it simple. I just split my day into 3 different blocks: deep work, shallow work, and recharge. You've probably heard of this setup before, but here's the difference. I follow the right ratio. It's what keeps it working even on days where I feel absolutely lazy. So here's the ratio that's actually worked the best for me. 1 block of deep work, 1 to 2 blocks of shallow work, and then 1 block of recharge. And then if I'm feeling up to it, I'll repeat. Now keep in mind, 1 block can mean 30 minutes or it can mean 1 hour. Whatever you think is your best time to work. Stacking back-to-back deep work blocks is honestly unsustainable. You end up with mediocre product on important tasks. This ratio gives me just enough structure to move forward without overwhelming myself. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing enough consistently. Now let's cover the last time management problem before I show you how to organize your entire life in 2 steps. But real quick, if this has helped so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I cut through all the noise to only give you what actually works. Problem number 3. Every day starts with confusion. Sure, you may follow the first practical tip I gave you. You open your laptop, but then you sit there for 20 minutes because you don't know what you're supposed to do today. So every night, I want you to take 3 minutes to ask yourself 3 questions. What's the one thing I need to do tomorrow? What can I ignore? And when can I realistically start? If you answer those, there's no overthinking, there's no guessing. 3 minutes and that's it. So the next morning, you're not sitting there thinking, you're immediately getting into action. Let's move into organization, because honestly, most organization advice is way too much. Color code your folders, organize your life like a software engineer. If you're really busy and a little lazy, that system's dead in a week. So instead, I use 2 low effort principles. One for the digital space and one for the physical space. They keep my entire life organized with almost no effort. Principle number 1 is the 2-touch rule. No file, no email, no calendar invite should be touched more than 2 times. Now later in this video, I'm going to share you an AI tool that can almost optimize this completely. But for now, let's focus on what the 2 touches actually do. On the first touch, you decide what it is and where it needs to be. On the second touch, you put it there or delete it. Done. If something isn't important enough to make it through that second touch, you don't need it anywhere digitally. The goal with this rule isn't digital minimalism. It's simplifying your files without babysitting them. You want low effort solutions to digital mess. But now let's focus on how to organize your physical space with the clear zone method. Now I'm not telling you you need to constantly be organizing your entire room. That would be crazy. You're way too busy for that. But I pick one surface. It's usually my desk that I always keep spotless. When that zone is clean, I feel completely reset, even if the rest of my room is a little bit chaotic. It's not about having some perfect space. It's about having that one anchor in your room that says, this is clean, this is organized, I can get my life together. Now time management, organization, they've both been crushed. It's time I show you the AI productivity app and simple productivity system that's helped me keep moving. Here's the simple 3-step system that has supercharged my productivity. Capture, clarify, and execute. Each step flows naturally into the next one to keep your system airtight. I'm gonna explain to you each step, its purpose, and how you can use AI Notes app to make it even more efficient. Let's start with capture, which is exactly what it sounds like. Getting all useful information and putting it in one spot. Now our brains are great at a lot of things, but they are terrible storage units. The longer information stays inside your head, the faster it begins to slip away. 30 minutes after leaving the lecture and half the information's already gone. That's why I use AI Notebook. It saves syncs and stores all of my data seamlessly over every Apple device I own. Video, audio notes, pictures, PDFs, it literally does not matter. It handles everything without limits. My favorite feature has been the audio notes. Recently, I've been working with pro bono clients in my consulting club. So whenever I meet with clients, it can be a little bit difficult to write down every pain point and possible solution. But now I just record the entire meeting, and then the app gives me a transcript I can revisit at any time. It's a simple way to capture the thoughts of my team, myself, and the client in one specific spot. Now, step 2 is clarify. It's where you look at everything you previously captured and decide what is actually worth your attention. Think of it like sorting through your mental inbox. You decide what you need later, and what can just go in the trash. Now, I use AI Notebook in a few different ways to clarify what I actually need to focus on. So I organize my notes in different folders, tag the important info, and can even group PDFs and photos together. This helps me instantly access previous materials I used inside of a client meeting. And it's also super helpful when it comes to prepping for interviews and exams. Now, to have the most effective clarification, you need to set a few minutes every day or week to go through and review everything you wrote down. But keep in mind, clarifying isn't about perfection. It's about prioritizing and figuring out what your next move needs to be. Now, finally, let's talk about getting things done. The last step is execution. I used to use a bunch of different apps, a physical planner, a notebook that I would track all my stuff in, but eventually this just got too confusing. With AI Notebook, everything stays inside of one specific place. So as soon as I open the app, I can figure out what I need to do. Even when I get lazy, even when life gets hectic, that's my anchor to fall back on. Now, a more specific example is how I use it to prepare for my presentations to my club. I use the audio transcription feature to turn my practice speeches into editable text. AI Notebook is honestly a must-have app for anyone looking to be more organized and more productive. Now, they did sponsor me with a discount code that I'm going to link in the description, but I wouldn't talk about this app if I didn't think it was actually going to help you. So there's also a free trial included, so you could try it out completely risk-free. So thanks to AI Notebook for sponsoring this video and helping me make my productivity system even more efficient. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need one that works with your life, not against it. So I encourage you to try the tips, test the tool, and build momentum. Before you know it, you're going to be accomplishing more than you ever have. But remember, it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. So again, thanks for watching this video. I'm going to link another video on one of these sides, and I'm sure it's going to help you become more productive.